WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
Back in session, an early test for the new Republican-led Congress today as the House convenes to vote for a speaker. It is our top story today at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. Now, the first day of the new Congress brought an immediate challenge electing the Speaker of the House. In a somewhat strange twist of events, current Speaker and frontrunner Mike Johnson did not get enough votes in the initial tally, but he still managed to win on the first vote. Nidia Cavazos is here for you to explain how it all happened.
The new Congress was called to order at noon with an immediate task at hand, electing the Speaker of the House.
The name of the Honorable Mike Johnson.
President-elect Trump endorsed Johnson this week in his fight to keep his job. Conference Chair Lisa McClain made the case for the Louisiana Republican.
He is steadfast in his values of faith, family, and love of this country.
Alford Johnson.
Then came the pivotal vote, and Johnson failed to get a majority. After a brief break, since the initial vote hadn't been officially tallied yet, South Carolina Representative Ralph Norman and Keith Self from Texas were convinced to change their votes.
Mr. Self Johnson.
Bringing Johnson a win.
The Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 119th Congress.
The path of prosperity has long been paved with policies that put America and Americans first. And that is what we will champion in the 119th Congress.
No other business could unfold until the Speaker was chosen, with a slim margin of only a couple possible defections to ensure re-election. Republicans now control both chambers of Congress for the first time since 2019. Donald Trump promises an ambitious list of changes with the help of lawmakers.
We need to unify so that we can move the Trump agenda.
Next week brings the certification of Trump's White House win. Nidia Cavazos, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries was also reelected in his role. Several new lawmakers were sworn in today, including Tom Barrett. Barrett, who will represent the greater Lansing area, honored the legacy of his great-grandfather, who also served as a member of Congress. Taryn Simmons shared the emotions that Barrett expressed after setting up shop in the very same office that his relative once used. Taryn?
Sherry, Barrett will be moving to 1232 Longworth House office building where his great-grandfather Louis Reboe served from 1935 to 1947. Although he never met his great-grandfather, he says it's an honor to follow in his footsteps. Reboe was also known for introducing legislation to add the words "under God" to the Pledge of Allegiance back in 1954. In order for Barrett to get the office, he had to go through a lottery that determined which member could pick any available office, and he was helped by other members of Congress who were happy to switch with him, and says he's excited for his new position and to serve the residents of Michigan.
He was elected 90 years ago and was sworn into office 90 years ago today as well, and now I get to be here following in some of those footsteps. Have a lot of my family here joining me today, and it's just something that I'm very proud of and very appreciative of, and something that we definitely do not take for granted.
Barrett's great-grandfather lost to Republican Harold Youngblood in 1946, but returned to Congress and served again from 1949 to 1961. Sherry, back to you.
Taryn, thank you. And Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin became Senator Elissa Slotkin today. She was sworn in shortly after noon, taking the spot of now retired U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow. We'll hear from Senator Slotkin coming up tonight on 6 News at 6. In Detroit, police are finalizing plans to keep Lions fans safe as thousands of people prepare to gather Sunday night for the big game against the Minnesota Vikings. The department says fans can expect to see heightened security, especially following the 2 suspected terror attacks that we just updated you on. Well, police are expected to make another announcement later today to highlight what fans need to know before heading to Ford Field. A retired assistant chief of police for the city of Detroit says he's confident the stadium will be safe and secure. However, in light of the 2 deadly attacks this week, he believes the perimeter will be the main point of concern.
The stadium itself will be secure. It's a hard target. They have explosive dogs out there sniffing explosives. You'll have plenty of police presence.
The Lions are set to kick off against the Vikings at Ford Field Sunday night at 8:20. Meanwhile, police in Lansing are asking for your help in finding a teen who ran away from home. This is 15-year-old Diana Metcalf. Her family has reported her as a runaway. She was last seen December 12th in the 1900 block of Georgetown Boulevard. She's 5'3", 130 pounds. If you have any information on where she could be, please contact the Lansing Police Department. A medical lab based out of Florida is being forced to pay more than $4 million for ordering unnecessary drug testing. The company, Physicians Toxicology Laboratory, is accused of ordering urine and hormone testing that was not needed. The company would then charge Medicare for those procedures. The U.S. Attorney announced the $4.4 million settlement today, saying, quote, lab tests should be ordered based on each patient's medical needs and not just to increase laboratory profits. Well, the Michigan Attorney General is drawing attention to some consumer alerts surrounding travel clubs and health club memberships. They're encouraging people to take time and ask questions. Be careful with long-term contracts because they're just not right for everyone, especially when they have to be paid up front. Ask for a month-to-month dues instead, and make sure that you understand the cancellation and refund policies before signing a contract. Now, what happens if you move or get injured? And remember that a lifetime membership is really only good for the lifetime of the business, not your lifetime.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The cold weather we've got. The snowfall, though, has been a little iffy at times. We started out the season with decent snowfall, and then things kind of quieted down. And as you look at some of the numbers, where we are, at least so far this winter, Lansing's still close to 3 inches below average. Detroit, Flint below average. Grand Rapids a little bit above. As you head further north, pretty close to average, though, for Alpena as well as Houghton Lake. What's interesting is in the UP, Sault Ste. Marie is 36 inches above average. Meanwhile, Marquette, 32 inches below average. So feast or famine as far as the snow goes this year, but there's a lot of lake effect for the UP at least, so I think they'll be making up some ground and adding in the western UP. Additional snowfall the next 6 days, heaviest UP, northwestern, lower Michigan, but our system we've been watching for Monday promises to stay mainly to our south, so that looks like a non-event for us here in mid-Michigan. Even our southernmost counties like Hillsdale, the odds you see at least 2 inches or more over the next 10 days has come down quite a bit, and the system looks like it's taking a little more of a southern track, so see snow, that's good news. Of course, along the lake shore and lake effect belts will pick up quite a bit of snow, and the cold air, it's here, it's going nowhere. Temperatures in the mid-20s the next several days, colder by the middle of next week. Slight warm-up, upper 20s next Sunday and Monday before more cold air begins to settle in. We've got quite a bit of lake effect to our southwest and to our northwest this afternoon, but not a whole lot in central mid-Michigan. As you look at precision cast through the morning hours, a lot of the lake effect begins to die down. As is always the case when you have cold air flowing over the still warm lakes, there can be a stray flurry here or there, but shouldn't be too much happening tomorrow. Other than, cross your fingers, maybe the clouds will break up just a little bit tomorrow evening, so maybe we'll become partly cloudy. That's the most excitement I've got for you this weekend. As we move into Sunday, we'll focus to the south. Notice our storm system getting organized, but instead of taking that track we typically see, which is across the Ohio Valley, brings us snow, the system's going to head basically due east. It'll shift the snow, it'll get fairly close to the state line, but I think it stays just south. And places like North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and the eastern seaboard will see quite a bit of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. We may get a couple snow showers Monday, and that should be about it from that storm system. Temperatures currently are sitting in the low to the mid-20s. It is a cold afternoon across mid-Michigan. Our McLaren cam temperatures at 24 degrees. Had a wind gust today up to 21 miles per hour. Winds now 3, so wind chill of 23 degrees. In Grand Ledge, cloudy skies, some passing flurries. Temperature 24 degrees. Peak wind today 22, which did drop wind chills at times into the lower teens. Jackson Cam, more substantial snow showers taking place. You can see the visibility just a bit reduced in the distance. Winds at 11, so wind chill of 12. Current temperature sitting at 23 degrees. Final stop in Hillsdale, where you've seen also more in the way of snow showers today. Temperatures at 22 degrees, humidity 83%, and our peak wind today up to 27 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, overnight low 15 degrees. As snow showers begin to come to an end, you could argue for a stray flurry tomorrow, otherwise hopefully decreasing clouds. Highs tomorrow cold though, near 22 degrees. The 6-day forecast over the next 6 days, Some snow showers possibly on Monday, a couple flurries on Wednesday, just cold next week, overnight lows single digits. Better chance of lake effect snow showers next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, perhaps into Monday. Temperatures are warmer though, in the upper 20s, and I guarantee you 27 will suddenly feel warm.
I gotta believe you're right, because today outside when that wind picked up,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, whoa!
Yeah, I was out walking the dog and one of the snow showers and some wind came through. Not fun.
We call that not quite an Arctic blast, but we haven't had temperatures this cold for a while.
Yeah, it definitely felt like an Arctic blast.
All right, thanks, David. Well, new tonight, President Biden is set to visit with the victims of the New Orleans terror attack. We'll have the latest on the investigation for you coming up. Keep it right here. That and much more straight ahead on 6 News at 5.